Hi guys, and welcome back to part 3 of our Friday night social. It is now Saturday, the 18th of July. Big day for me, holiday day. Well, before I depart these shores, we'll do a little chat on transfers. We were going to do a part 2, but we do it in 2 parts, should I say, but part 1 and part 2 were so good. We wanted to do in 3. So part 1, going back and check the Bournemouth review of the game on Wednesday, and also the Arsenal preview with our starting 11, our score predictions. Part 2, we got into a really good chat about UEFA due to Khaldoon's meeting with Saffron on Monday after the CAS hearing, where City were found innocent, and we talked about the cartel and the media backlash that's come on board and everything else. And me and Chris did state a few little facts for everyone. Just a little spoiler for you all. Go back and watch that in part 2. Part 3, though, we are going to talk all about the transfers that possibly could be coming in to Manchester City. As we know, the transfer window opens on the 27th of July and will run for 10 weeks. I think going up to the start of October, I think it is. But yes, it looks like City are on the verge of making their first signing. Leroy Sané's replacement looks like to be the young Spaniard, 21-year-old Valencia winger Ferran Torres. So, Carl, does that guy excite you? Have you seen much about him?
I've seen a little bit about him. I watched his game last night. I've seen some of his games against Atalanta in the Champions League. He's an exciting player. 6'2", quick, dynamic, good on the ball, good passer. Not afraid to run against an opponent or defender and try to beat them. Really good player. Really good player. Looks like a good player. Looks like a perfect Leroy Sané replacement. He can play across the front three. He can play central, he can play left, he can play right. But his preferred position, I think, is more on the right side of the wing. A true winger, a wide-out winger, a typical Pep player.
I mean, I like him, what I've seen. Have I seen a lot of him? No. I'm not going to be one of these people who said, I know everything about him, he looks amazing. And very much like Leroy Sané, we didn't know a lot about him. I hadn't really heard of him, if I'm honest, up until a month or 2 ago. Maybe that's my ignorance. I don't know. I apologise if it is, but I hadn't. It wasn't a name that was up there, because I think what City are doing is they don't necessarily have to go and buy a big name. They can get this guy for, they're looking at about 30 million at the moment. 30 million, that's euros or pounds. Now, as we said, this deal is not done. It's not even been confirmed. These are just a very, very strong rumours at the moment. Chris, Ferran Torres, excite you or not?
Well, I don't know much about the lad, if I'm really honest with you. Alan sent me a clip yesterday, a YouTube clip of him 10 minutes. He looks like a decent footballer, but Georgia Samaras looked good on YouTube. So it's
Yeah. For her and Veen.
Yeah, exactly. So, but he did. He looks a decent player, and apparently,
with a banjo with throws.
Well, no, that's true. But we'll see. It's not the priority position as far as I'm concerned. But I'm not going to be against some proper wingers playing in their right positions.
Alan, you've sent us all these YouTube videos. What do you think?
I've seen a couple of games, Valencia games, watching it on Foxtel here, and he's very direct. That's one thing I will say. He gets the ball and runs at people, which is good. Which is similar to Sané. He's a right footer rather than a left footer, but he does tend to, if he's going to play on the left hand side, which I suspect Pep does, he likes people to cut in, heading towards the goal. So, and he does. Unfortunately, that's the way Pep likes to play. So, he looks a good prospect, 21 years old, he's quick. He's very, very quick. So, why not? If he comes at a decent price, why not?
He comes with El Mago's blessing.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
David's very, very strong on this young kid.
Yeah,
Very,
he is.
strong. It was, I think it was David who's recommended him. You know, they've not just gone off David Silver saying, get this guy, and they've gone, oh, all right then. But when David Silver tells you about a player, you do tend to stand up and listen, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we'll just have to wait and see. They're saying the deal's been agreed on both parts, but no, and the deal's not done till it's signed, and it's not signed. So, you know, they've all agreed.
That's still only rumours at the moment. There's nothing concrete confirmed.
Until it's signed, there's no deal done.
Yeah, one thing we do know is that he has 1 year left on his contract. So, and he's refused to sign that contract. So, Valencia are not going to be the Champions League. Then they're not going to be the Europa League next year. So there's pressure on Valencia to get money for him. The question is who's going to get him. So, hopefully it's us.
Well, apparently on Twitter this evening. Now I don't generally want to follow all my transfer news on Twitter. It's not reliable for everything, but apparently City Extra and a couple of people are saying it was on Eurosport and in Marca, which is a Spanish outlet, that the young lad has fallen in love with the projects at City and he really, really wants to join. So
I think that's a bit of media talk that. Let's face it, City Extra, we've probably signed 397 players in 2 months.
Which I will say they do a great job. I'm not going to City Extra do a brilliant job. So, you know, keep up the good work, lads, over there.
Yeah.
So that's the left wing sorted. Chris, where else do we need? And more importantly, who else do we need?
Okay, well, I think our main position of weakness is a centre-back. Then I would say a left-back is the next important role to fill. Then probably a striker, then probably another centre back, and then a left winger. If we, you know, they're the 5 sort of positions I think we need strengthening.
Yeah.
Now, I look at this transfer window that there could be a lot of swap deals going on, or players, you know, being made as a, you know, part of a player and money sort of exchange. So I think we will see the end of Zinchenko. Probably Otamendi and Stones are probably going to go. Bravo, we know Bravo's going, David's going, Angelino's another one. Patrick Roberts is in our first team squad. You know, you never see Patrick Roberts, do you? So
10 million for all of them combined.
you know, it depends what the transfer. You know, they're not bad players, any of them, but.
No, I'm talking about the way we always negotiate sales. We never.
Well, yeah.
We do never seem to get really good money on sales, do we, at the moment?
Well, no, but you've got that could come in, and you've got the Sane money. So there is some money to spend on top of whatever the Sheikh decides to put in, you know, or whatever money that actually we're generating from our sponsorship deals and blah blah blah. So as a centre back goes, as a first
legitimate,
and innocently. So. I think the first, when Koulibaly was spoken about, I didn't know much about him, if I'm really honest. I don't watch much of the football in the City. So, but I have had a look at him and he looks really good.
Really? You didn't know a lot about Koulibaly?
Mate, I don't watch anything other than City. I don't, you know.
Okay.
I've got a life, mate. So, but I don't, I know that there's a certain, people say he's too old. But for me, that's what we're missing a bit, is a bit of experience.
Yeah.
And to have a defender in his absolute prime like he is, at the peak of his, and it might be that he might be only in his peak for 2-3 more seasons, say even if it is just 2, by that point Laporte is in his peak, and you know that's, you know, then he becomes the senior man in defence. So I would like to see Koulibaly come. I think he looks a good player. So, yeah, he'd be my first one that I'd be going after. Or an experienced centre-back of proper world-class quality, you know.
Matt, anybody else going to argue with Koulibaly? Or got any other names?
I don't think Koulibaly will come to City at all. I think he's engineering and renegotiating with Napoli. Well, he's already said he wants to stay at Napoli. and which he did. And I think he's using City as a pawn to get more wages. I really do think that. I think we should be looking at Skriniar. Yeah, Manuel Skriniar or Ruben Diaz. I've always liked Ruben Diaz as an opportunity to get him in centre half. Plus, he's a captain. He's a leader. So I'd look at Ruben Diaz as an opportunity. But I don't think that's a bad shout, to be honest with you. But Koulibaly, I don't think he'll come to City. I really don't. I think he's engineering bigger wages. I think we need two centre halves. And I think the second one will be Nathan Ake. I know you'd love that, Martin. I think he's going to go for it. I really do think Nathan Ake is going to be at City next season, and I know you don't like to see it. I do think Pep likes him. I do think he likes him. It's not what we think.
I get worried when I see Dwight Gale turning him inside out. It really worries me that way. But yeah, I get it. But when Dwight Gale, who can't get in the Newcastle teams, turning Nathan Ake inside out, then I get a little bit worried. But no, I understand it. Carl,
it's not our decision, is it? It's what Pep wants. They've got to be able to play football. They've got to be able to pass from the back. If they can't do that, they will not be coming to City. I'll tell you straight now.
John Stones could pass out from the back, remember? Carl?
Yeah, we signed him, didn't it?
For me, they're two players. Koulibaly's problem is the fact that his contract expires in 2023, so he has some room in his contract. So that's going to throw things into the mix. He may be playing for more money, as Alan said, but he's a class defender. This guy can defend.
Yes.
I mean, he's a class defender. The other person that I like that has 1 year left is David Alaba of Bayern Munich. He's a left centre half, but he can also play left back. He's a really, really cultured player, and I like him a lot.
How old is he?
He's 28.
28, isn't he?
28, yeah.
Apparently, though, he's now quoted as saying he doesn't want to come to England.
Oh, then I guess that's done then. But Koulibaly, Skriniar, of course, and then Nathan Ake. Those are my three.
Good old Nathan, hey Martin. Good old Nathan.
No, I've got nothing against Nathan Ake. I'm just...
Really?
I think about Nathan.
Really? Chris? Really?
The face you just pulled.
Nathan Ake, left-footed. He can play left back as well. He can actually play left back, and he can play defensive midfield.
Well, if you believe the rumours, City are going after a natural left back anyway. Now that's where the rumours of Alaba. The first choice is Alaba apparently, but he doesn't want to come to England. He's told us that, Chelsea that, and whoever. He doesn't want to come to England.
Where's that come from, Martin?
It's come from a number of outlets.
He wants to go to Barcelona.
Marks and Spencer's.
Sainsbury's.
The problem, Martin.
You suddenly changed your name and the way you look.
The rumor is that he wants to go to Barcelona, but Barcelona are telling him that he should wait for 1 more year so his contract expires, so he's free. The problem is the fact that he can't. Bayern Munich is not going to do that because they want to make money off him.
The reports that he does want to go to Spain. That's where he wants to go. He wants to go to Spain. But I think.
I'm sorry, Matt. I think the problem with the getting a second centre back, and I'm not saying we don't need one because we do, is that they'll know they're not first choice. That's the big thing. So Nathan Ake is, the first choice at Bournemouth. Would he be willing to come to City? I know Bournemouth might go down, but is he willing to come to City and spend a lot of time on the bench?
Now. The thing is, I read the report, same as everyone else, with Duncan Castles, Sam Lee, and somebody else. Now, I know Duncan Castles, but usually, I will say, be fair to Duncan Castles, he's generally spot on with a lot of his transfers. He may talk a load of garbage, but he's generally quite accurate on the people, transfer-wise. And he says that Koulibaly is the number one. then it is a backup centre back, because the idea is Eric Garcia is going to be the fourth centre back next year. So if you can have a back four or four centre backs of Laporte, Koulibaly, and have them as your main two in the big games, Champions League, your Uniteds, your Liverpools, Arsenals, Tottenhams, all them games, and you can bring in a Nathan Ake, for example, and this is no disrespect for the Burnley games, the Southampton games like that, alongside a Laporte or a Koulibaly, and then you've got Garcia for the cup games. That's not a bad foursome. That's not a bad idea.
You're not giving up on this Koulibaly thing, even though I don't think he'll come in either.
No, because apparently, though, he's not going to get the contract he wants. Is he called Deliant? So whatever his name is.
Martin, there is another problem with it. Napoli's not going to be the Champions League or the Europa League next year. So, I mean, for a player of that stature playing for Senegal, I mean, he has to be playing in Europe. It just has to be.
The thing with Koulibaly, this is his last big move.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't move now,
this is it.
That's
then
it. He'll be moving to MLS or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
So for me,
I'd only sign him on a 3-year deal. I'd only sign him on a 3-year deal.
Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Because the thing, if you're signing for more than 3 years, you're stumping the growth of Garcia, and I don't want to do that, because I think if you're going to get Garcia to sign a contract, you're going to have to promise him first team football or a pathway to first team football. You can't be dangling the carrot at him now and then tell him you sat on the bench for 40 games next season. You've got to rotate it in a way like he has done with Stones for a year or two. I think Stones and Otamendi will leave. That's just my opinion. Simply down to the contract situation. Because I don't think any business can allow players to leave for free.
We've been doing it recently.
Yeah. But I mean, that's centre back. I mean, where are we at with left back then? Chris, where's your left back?
Right, mate.
It's like being on the comedy club, isn't it?
I'd left back's a bit of a struggle. I think, if Alaba is available, he could play in that position. He can play across the back line, can't he? So, he would be a great buy, I think. But yeah, left back's a struggle for me, because I know Chilwell's mentioned, but I don't know. I'm not overly convinced by Joe. And Leicester, if Leicester do sell him, it will be for twice as much as he's worth.
Here's a question. Why did Leicester get in the Champions League?
Why what?
If Leicester get the Champions League, does he have to leave?
He won't be. He's not for sale. He's not for sale.
Yeah.
He said it last night. He's not for sale. And I can't see Leicester selling him.
I don't always believe that, because Mark Hughes signed a contract for Man United and then the next day went to Chelsea. So I don't always believe what people.
No, I think every player, every club, maybe bar Messi, is for sale. Is at the right price, isn't they?
But is that price? Is Chilwell worth 90, 100 million?
No.
Nowhere near. It's like Maguire. United have paid probably twice as much as he's worth, if not more. It's.
I'm not going to lie. I was the one who pushed Maguire. I did want him.
But he's proven that. All right. His first season's not been great, but I can't. He's not that. He's not that good a footballer. So, and I agree with City not being held to ransom for players a transfer fee. So, yeah.
Carl,
the problem is, Martin, is that as soon as Man City come in for a player, straight away they add 25 million on it, whoever it is. Yeah. And City know that. That's why they say, no, I'm not paying that. And they're quite right to do that, to be honest with you, because they are getting taken the piss out of.
You've also got the English premium as well with someone like Chilwell.
Exactly.
He's English and he's homegrown. So there's an extra 10, 15 million on top.
Yeah, absolutely.
Carl, where are you at with left back?
Well,
so not on the table.
So in the EDS, who's our left back in the EDS? We don't have a left back that we can use and bring into the first team to understudy Mendy.
Off the top of my head, I don't know. I can look while you're having a thing. I can have a look.
Yeah, because I mean, this would be a great opportunity while Zinchenko's still here. You know, he's going, but to bring some of the academy who can play left back, you know, and grow in that position. It's just, you know, if not, you're going to have to go buy a top left back from a European club. How many available? There's Lucas Hernandez. He's at Bayern Munich. He's not leaving. You know, 80 million euros. He's not going to leave. If you want to go to Atletico Madrid and buy the left back, he's not going to leave. The Barcelona left back is not exactly the best. So the question is, who's available? And within England, the top six, I can't think of any left back that we can buy. We're not going to buy Shaw or Chilwell, or we can't buy the Arsenal left back or the Chelsea left back. I mean, he's getting old. So who do you go after? Right? Why not promote from within? Or get Alaba and play him either as left back with Laporte.
Yeah, I think that's a good call, Carl. I think where City have an issue is that, and I said this last week, is when Cancelo comes in for Walker, there's not that much of a drop off, but whoever is filling in for Ben Mendy is a massive drop off. I'm not sure there's anybody within the EDS yet who's ready to come in and play second fiddle to Ben Mendy just yet. I think a left back is I think we're going to have to go and buy one. But then whoever comes in has to sort of understand that Mendy's probably first choice.
Yeah, if you get Koulibaly and Alaba, problem solved. You have your centre back and you have your Alaba who can play both centre back and left back, and you're done.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
Or if you get three people, Torres, Koulibaly, and Alaba, that's you talk about media hype.
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
The media hatred will go on overdrive.
Absolutely.
I've just done a look. There is not really anyone in the EDS where you could go. Yeah, right out there. You've got you've got Joel. Now I'm going to butcher his name. Latibadere, whatever his name is. Now, but he's out on loan at the moment. So, is he going to force his way in? No. Yeah. And the thing is, if you're going to replace Mender, you're not going to replace him with an EDS. You're going to go up a level. Yeah. And the problem is, to go up a level, I don't think Mendy's performances are the issue or his ability.
No.
I think the issue is his injury record. Now, someone said, what about swapping our Mendy for Real Madrid's Mendy? Now, that'd be great. But you're not going to get Ferland Mendy or Madrid selling you their best players. They will not do it without spending a huge amount of money. So the problem is, I think left back is the trickiest spot. And it's going to be the biggest problem for me all summer.
It is. I mean, a left-footed defensive player, and they're not many in the world today. No. They're not.
And they're going to cost a fortune.
There are not many in the world today. I can't think of anyone in the Premier League that I would say, we can afford.
Whoever comes in is going to have to pay second fiddle to Mendy. Right?
Alan, or are you looking at a replacement for Mendy?
No, I think Mendy will stay, and I think what he wants to do is rotate his fullbacks from a bit like Pellegrini used to do. So 1 week. 2 games, one fella, 2 games, another fella, and that because the way he plays is up, down, up, down. It's a lot of energy for fullbacks. That's the way he plays them. And I'm just looking at: do we go for a young one, or do we go for someone who's experienced that doesn't mind playing second fiddle?
Here's my thing. I don't know about you three. Here's my issue, and please do not think I'm going on an anti-Zinchenko hunt again. I'm not. But my issue is that you look at Mender. You look at Zinchenko, and the drop-off is huge.
Huge.
Drop-off.
Huge.
Absolutely huge.
Huge.
So if Mendy does get injured, you're going down 3-4 levels. You are.
What about signing someone as a left field? Just throwing it out there. Bertrand from Southampton.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy. Alan,
he's 30.
Yeah,
so he doesn't have to play every game. He's 30. He's a good player, and he's a good fullback, and he's got a great left foot. Left foot.
Yeah.
And I've always thought, why don't City just say, let's get someone like Bertrand in?
Yeah.
He will sit on the bench and then come in for the smaller games and still do a brilliant job.
Yeah.
Or you could look at. I'm just looking at the players here.
And he's English.
What about Brandon Williams?
Yeah.
Now you're looking at me saying they would never sell him. Well, isn't Luke Shaw currently their number one left back?
He won't be for long. Brandon Williams is better than Luke Shaw.
No, I'm maybe I'm being a bit naughty with that one. Maybe I'm being a bit naughty, but I'm just thinking of an up and comer.
Who's the Everton left back?
Digna.
Yeah.
Now that was the one I was thinking of. You got Lucas Digna. Lucas Digne. Sorry, Digne.
Yeah.
Let's say the name.
Yeah.
Lucas Digne.
I don't think we need to break the bank on a left fullback that's going to play second fiddle to Mendy. I really don't.
Agree.
Lucas Digne, is he better than Mendy? Now, obviously, Cal on our channel will say yes every day of the week, twice on Sunday.
Offensively, no. Offensively, no. Defensively, maybe slightly better, more aware, but offensively, no. And Pep likes offensive fullbacks anyway, right?
That'll be a lot of money as well. Everton are desperate.
Let me throw one out there. Who's finishing his contract this year? He's at Real Madrid right now.
Marcelo.
Yeah.
We get Mike on as well.
Yeah, I've got to say, I think we're going back to the Maicon Roberto Mancini days there. You're buying so let's get Roberto Carlos out of retirement. I think we're going a bit.
Well, if you're going to buy a number one fullback, I'd look at Alexander Sandro from Juventus.
Yeah.
Someone's copying my conversation I had with him last week.
Yeah, it's true. You're right.
I like Sandro.
I don't think they'll sell him.
But Bertrand is probably right now to back up Mendy. He's better than Zinchenko, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All day long. And his experience is 30 years of age.
Yeah,
he's
that's
still
a good shout.
He's still got pace. He's played international football.
Yeah.
Which he played at Chelsea. So he knows how to play Champions League because he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not a bad shout. It is, it won't cost a fortune.
Yeah.
And for him as well, he will get plenty of game time because of Mendy's, injury problems.
That's exactly right.
Go on, Chris. Carry on.
Well, I think whoever comes in to do that sort of backup to Mendy I don't think Pep will play Mendy every match because of his injury record. I think he'll want to keep, look after him. There's no doubt Mendy is fantastic going forward as well. But I think that's a really good shout. I've not thought about him, and I think that's a brilliant shout and homegrown, and that's something that we need to look at as well.
Absolutely.
That's the thing I was going to bring up with everyone. We are very, very on the edge with homegrown. If we allow too many, if you lose Stones, and then you lose Otamendi's not, but you lose Stones, Angelino, because Angelino, does Angelino come under homegrown?
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
There's two homegrown out the door. So you are losing, and there's, Scott Carson, you're losing a lot of homegrown here.
Alan, how long does Bertrand have left on his contract,
So one sec, just go back on the internet. I've just been looking at him now.
Say we're always prepared here on Man City Van TV. Real stats.
Sorry about that.
Where's Ryan?
We need to get another stat guy here on the channel.
His market value is 10.5 million as well.
Yeah, his last transfer was in 2015, so he's probably coming up for transfer. He's probably coming up. Yeah.
A year left.
How much left?
A year.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
Perfect.
I think we've figured out left back is probably going to be the trickiest and hardest position to do, which is why a lot of people have said in the media that City's task of left back is an absolute hard job, and how we're going to do it, I do not know, because let's be honest, the world of football is not blessed with world-class left-backs right now.
Yeah, you're right.
Fortunately.
Yeah.
But let's move on. I do want to talk about, apparently, Sergio Aguero. The club are now in negotiations with a new contract, reportedly. Now, he's 33, I think.
I don't think he's 32.
33 next year. If he signs a new contract, it'll be up to his 34th birthday. Because he's got a year left and they're talking about another year. So you're talking another 2 years. Now, is that really something we should be doing? Is that a sentimental viewpoint? Or are the reports of City are very, very interested in Lautaro Martinez now? And Barcelona apparently cannot afford him. Hence why Alan talked about the 800 million loan they've got. They're really, it was on Sky and a few others that Martinez is the guy City want. Would you forego Sergio's 1 year extension to bring in a Lautaro Martinez? Or which way would we go? So, Chris, I want to start with you on that one.
I don't know what was going on with Sergio. Why can't you have both, Martin? I mean, Sergio.
Well, I'll explain why. Because you've got a problem now with Gabby. Gabby is playing second fiddle for 3 years now, and you extend Sergio, and you bring in another striker. Gabby's not going to keep playing second fiddle forever and ever and ever.
No, I think if you're going to extend Sergio's contract, it will be on the sort of premise that you're not going to be always the number one striker. You can't be, can you? Getting to that age, he's a great guy to bring off the bench, isn't he? That'd be an amazing thing.
I can't believe he was just saying that in a sentence.
But it's true. But when he gets to that age,
I know.
And listen, I think Kevin Keegan will always want his 6 strikers. We are short on strikers, so why?
Are we though in a Pep team? The way he plays
we score a lot of goals, mate, but we are short of a striker.
No, I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. I'm just thinking when you look at the way Pep plays with the front three,
right,
because he's got Sterling and Mahrez, he tends to go with the front three scoring the goals.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a striker, if you know what I mean. He has the main one, and that's it.
Yeah. There's an argument, guys, that the way Klopp and Pep play their 4-3-3, the role of the number 9 is different. So the role of the number 9 is not really a traditional striker killer in the box. The role is more of a link player, like Firmino, like Gabi Jesus. So they always play a 4-3-1-2 with 2 wingers as almost like the default strikers. So that begs the question: does Pep really need a traditional number 9 who's a Dzeko who finishes off, or Haaland? Or does he have strong wingers and then this number 9 who's a moving, roving, rabid player that's able to chase down and connect the 2 strikers like Klopp does? Has the game moved to that way of playing? Because remember, at Barcelona, his best team, he didn't have a traditional number 9. Messi was a false 9. He had Pedro and Villa as the 2 wide players. They always rotated. There wasn't a traditional number 9. In fact, his traditional number 9 was Zlatan, who he got rid of. Eto'o got rid of, right? And Henry was on the left. So the way Pep plays, he really just plays with these front 3 that are interchangeable. There isn't a traditional number 9. Now at Bayern Munich, he had Lewandowski. That was different because the Germans wanted to play a certain way. But his best play really is to have flexible front 3.
Well, I think when Pep first came, it looked like Sergio's days were number 10.
Yeah.
And
I did say that.
And credit to Sergio, he proved Pep wrong, really. So I'm not sure. I've got no real concerns about Gabby. He's not lethal, but he puts in a hell of a shift every game.
Yeah.
And contributes, a lot to the way we play. So I don't have a big issue with Gabby.
Oh, no, I don't have an issue with Gabby. My issue is, will Gabby have an issue keep playing second fiddle?
Possibly, but I don't think he will play second fiddle.
Yeah.
Ahead of who?
He
Well,
would
I
take his position.
I mean, at some point, Sergio's going to age out, right? I mean, at some point, he's not going to be able to run and press like you want him to, and so the role has to swap, right? Where Gabby becomes the starter and Sergio comes in for.
So that's my
those
point.
moments.
Is Gabby a starting striker?
In the Pep system, I would say yes. That's the truth. I mean, look at Klopp and Pep again. The way they play their number nines is not the traditional number nine, that we know.
I think you're right there, actually, because it's not like Gabby hasn't scored goals this season. You know,
We spoke this earlier, Chris. The problem is with Gabby, he scores them in spurts.
Yeah, he's a bit of a street player.
But for the title, you can't go 10 games and not score.
Well, look at Firmino, right? Firmino hasn't scored at Anfield all year.
Yeah.
But his link-up play, I mean, without Firmino on that team, Liverpool are different. They just don't play the same kind of way.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't buy a Martinez or a Haaland? You wouldn't do anything like that?
I wouldn't. I'd probably get a Martinez, but not a Haaland. Just the way that Pep plays.
Well, that's right. Martinez comes, he's coming as number one striker.
Then Gabi has to make a choice.
That's my point. And I always thought, we'll come to you next, Alan.
Yeah.
Where I said Gabi could be the left winger, you've just given that job now to Ferran Torres.
So here's a question for you. If Gabi was in Italy, Inter Milan, how would he do?
I think he would score more goals in Italy because it's slower.
Right.
And I also think you get a little bit more room.
Right. So the flip side is if this guy Lautaro comes to English Premier League, is there any guarantee he's going to succeed more than Gabi? That's the conundrum, right?
No, the problem is I think you've got, and I totally take your part on board, and I agree, there is no guarantees. But I think the money they're going to talk about with Martinez, you're looking at 80, 90 million pounds. So you are going to be, and that's where the Barcelona sticking point is. They haven't got the money. Haven't got it. So that's where City have jumped now on the bandwagon. If City can get him for 60, then fair enough. You're not going to get a goal scorer who has, I think it's a 1-in-2 record. Right now, I think it's 1-in-2. You're not going to get him for 60 million.
Yeah.
You are looking 70, 80, 90. So that's my conundrum. Because I'm with Chris. Gabi runs his damn socks off and he works hard. He comes off something I always love as a City fan with sweat on your shirt.
Yeah.
But as a top striker, I don't think he's there.
I mean, to Alan's point, I don't think that we're going to get him this year. I think that it'd be too expensive because Inter Milan will be in the Champions League or the Europa League.
Oh, no, I'm just going off the reports.
Right.
Apparently, City are going after the striker this summer.
Well,
Alan, where are you at with it?
Well, with Martinez's situation, I think City will be spending their priorities on the defence. 2 centre halves, full back, this Torres kid they've got. I think they would have spent up with that lot, to be fair. I think the reason why they're looking at signing Sergio for an extra year is to buy them another year to find a striker that they can go and get the year after. I personally think that's what, if they're talking to Sergio to extend for 1 more year, they don't want a pressure of doing a Vinny scenario where he's gone and we've got no replacement, because I think that signing an extra year gives us another year to discover somebody. I think Martinez, I'll be honest with you now, if City went for Martinez and got him, I think they'd let Sergio go immediately.
Really? So you think Sergio ahead of Gabi?
Right. Listen, I think that if they get Martinez this year, if they got Martinez this year, I think Sergio will get permission from City to go back to Argentina if he wants to go.
Okay. Because there was links, wasn't there, with Aguero to Inter Milan? Was it last week?
I think the only place he's going to go to is Argentina, right, back home, right, and I'll be the first one to say, with pleasure, you go home. You've done everything you possibly could for us. You've given us our best moment we've ever had in our lives, ever. and scored the most goals that any striker's ever scored. But there comes to a point, Martin, where sentiment has to go, and Pep will not hold back on the future. And I know people will be upset hearing that, and people will be going, no. You know, it can't go on forever. It's 32 in June. It was 32 in June, so it's 33 in next June at the end of next season, right? Yeah. So,
and if it extends, you're looking 34.
Well, the end of it will be 33, 34. Yes, right. So, I think they're doing double. I think they're looking at centre forwards now, and if they can get one that they rate, I think Sergio will stay the extra year this year, and he'll be gone.
I think the Sergio deal, if that does come to fruition, I think
buying for time. I think they're buying for time.
I think that means the Haaland deal could be on, because I think Haaland's buyout comes into effect next year.
Yeah, I just think Sergio will extend for another year, but it's to give Manchester City Football Club time to isolate somebody, because they don't want to.
I agree, because they don't want another company situation. We don't want Sergio leaving and then we're stuck with nobody. You've got Gabba, and as much as Gabby's great, and like I said, I love Gabba. In my opinion only, he's not an out-and-out striker.
Yeah, but Martin,
I'm saying with him.
But Martin, we're never gonna get another Sergio.
No,
and don't want the fans. I don't want the fans to start thinking that we need a replacement for Sergio. We're never going to get another Sergio Aguero.
Right.
What I've seen of Martinez is nowhere near in Sergio's class.
No one is going to be as good as Sergio, right? So it's like the Australian cricket teams. They were searching for years for a replacement for Shane Warne. He's a freak. It's never going to happen. Mm-hmm. You have to play in a different way and accept it. It's the end.
It is. It's a great point.
Sandpaper.
No, it's a great point, because I think I've said on my vlogs, we might even have to change the way we play going forward. Sergio replacement.
That's what will happen.
He's a freak of nature. You're not going to get, especially for what we paid, 37 million. You ain't going to get that ever again. No team will ever get that again.
Remember this. We don't discuss. When Tevez came, we never thought we'd never find anyone like Tevez, and we managed to find Sergio. And we had a year and a half of them playing together, and it was awesome. Yeah, awesome. Those two together, unbelievable. Yeah, because I never thought I'd ever see someone as good as Carlos Tevez up front, and he was unbelievable. And but it's going to take time. It could take time to find someone that's a goal scorer. It's going to take time.
All right, I'm going to throw a name at you, and then we'll sort of start wrapping it up.
Harry Kane.
No. Marcus Rashford.
What about him?
I'd love to be able to sign either Rashford or Greenwood.
Marcus Rashford under Pep Guardiola.
It's never been sold by United. Not to us. No way.
I know. I'm like I said, I'm being a bit mischievous, because Andy said it a few weeks ago. He would be phenomenal under Pep.
He would, but he's never, ever, ever coming to City. One is a United fan. It's never happened. And he's at Man United. United won't do business with us, mate.
He wants to win trophies.
Mate, United will be a threat next year. Yeah.
Well, they've got to sort their defence out as well.
For the title? Well, so you think United will be in there for the title?
I think there'll be a threat for trophies. I never said the title, so they're looking for trophies.
Oh, they can have the Carabao Cup. Not that bothered about that anymore. We've won it 3 times on the bounce. I'm only joking. Listen, no, I was just throwing a name because Andy did mention that a few weeks ago.
What are you going to get? We're never, ever going to find a replacement for Sergio. Forget it.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe we need to change our style on that.
Pep will.
I think as fans, we need to remember Sergio eventually when he does leave. But I think we can't be too sentimental with it. I think we've done that a little bit.
Martin, they are. And I don't want to go on too long.
I think we've done that with Fernandinho a little bit, where we've gone, get him back into CDM, back in CDM, back in CDM.
Yeah.
He's gone back there at 35.
He's too old. Legs have gone.
I'm just shaking his head, so he obviously does not agree with me on this.
Let me ask you this question.
Games.
Hypothetical, right? Inter Milan say they will sell us Martinez if we take Sergio. If they take Sergio.
All right, well, let's go round then with that. Chris,
No.
would you swap Sergio for Martinez right now?
No, because with money, I'm taking it. As a straight swap, then
No,
yes.
With money.
Oh, and you're talking about them giving us money?
Yeah. I'm not that fussed about Martinez, if I'm honest with you. I'm not fussed about him.
Okay.
I think 90 million is a ridiculous fee for him.
Would you swap Sergio for any striker right now? And don't say Messi.
No, I wouldn't say Messi. I don't want Messi either. I really like the look of Haaland. I do.
And we can play the ball from the wings and get it over the top.
Honest, I'm with you. I really like the look of Haaland. I don't like his attitude.
He's still a young kid. And the only other player, really, who we've talked about in the past is Mbappe, isn't it? But Mbappe's going to Madrid, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Alan, name me one player. You could swap Aguero for anybody right now.
Mbappe.
This summer.
Mbappe.
All right, let's take Mbappe and Messi out. Oh, don't give me Mbappe and Messi.
No.
You're not getting them.
You just asked me for a name. I've just given you a name.
All right, well, I'll let you have Mbappe then. We're not getting Mbappe ever.
All right. At the moment, if someone said Martinez for Sergio, it would break my heart if Sergio went, but I could understand the logic behind it.
Yeah.
Okay. Because he's young. All right. And Sergio's had his day. Right. For Haaland, yes.
And the only reason I'm saying Mbappe is because I don't think there's a proper. I don't think one City fan would say no. Let's keep Aguero and not have Mbappe. So that's why I'm saying let's not say Mbappe because every City fan in the world saying that.
Well, you should define your boundaries a bit better then.
All right, look, Martin.
Right, you Martin down in the corner.
Martin. The trouble is, everyone loves Sergio.
Yeah.
Right, and say goodbye to him is going to be hard.
Yeah.
Carl, where you at? If you could, would you swap him for?
The only person I'll swap him for right now would be Mbappe. Yeah, that's it. Because if you, I mean, let's say Champions League final, right? You have one chance to score a goal, right? Would you give it to Haaland or Aguero? One chance.
Great question.
Right.
Yeah, Aguero all day long.
Yeah.
All right. It is the last thing. I will end on this. Promise you. I will. Aguero is losing Aguero. Losing the last of that 2012 team. Is that the big issue here?
No.
It's the last bit of that 2012 team out the door.
Yes, and it's losing Sergio as well, emotionally.
David's leaving. We know David's going. The only one left now is Sergio.
It's gonna hurt a lot of people when he goes. There'll be tears in the stands. I'll tell you that now.
We get. There's going to be the three amigo statues. There's going to be Vinny, there's going to be David, there's going to be Aguero. We know that. They're going to go up.
Yeah.
But,
Martin, you have to understand that with Sergio, he's an icon. He's not just a player, not just a talisman. He's an icon. He's an icon not just of Manchester City, he's an icon of the Premier League. the most iconic moment in the history of the Premier League was 93-20. And that's going to stand forever. That moment. And when that kind of person leaves a club, it's a hole. It's
like Thierry Henry leaving Arsenal.
Yeah, he went back.
Yeah. Yeah.
He went back on loan.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
It'll be the same though.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's a great point, actually. David Silva is probably the best player we've ever seen. But David's very quiet. He goes about his business in a totally different way. Sergio is the man who sticks it in the back of the net.
Yeah.
I remember how I felt. I remember how I felt when the final whistle went when against Leicester when Vinny scored that goal, right? And all you could see was the pictures of him being hugged by every single player, and he looked round at the camera and there was tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
And I literally fell to my knees. I knew what that meant. I thought, no, please, no.
I have a highlights reel of Sergio's goals, right? And sometimes we don't appreciate the magnificence of this player until you look back and look at his goals. And this guy is a beast. I mean, this guy is, and I'm not talking about just goals with Man City. I'm talking about Atletico de Madrid. I'm talking about him as a kid. I have that highlight reels. You have to go back and look at this guy and figure out this guy is a moment. He's a different character. And when he leaves, we're going to miss him. We are going to miss him.
And do you know what makes it worse? Last season, we lost Vinny Company. This year, we're losing David Silva. Next year, we could lose Sergio.
And Yaya the year before.
So in 4 years,
Pablo before the year before that, they're all legends, aren't they?
No, that's what I mean. In the last let's say 5 years, then we've seen that Mancini team just go and go. And I understand its development, and I understand you're going to move forward.
Yep.
But I think with Sergio will be the hardest for me because that is the last one out the door.
Yeah.
When we ever won the Premier League. The last one out. And I think for me, that's the bit that'll really... I know David Silva, Andy will be in tears and I'm going to film it and I can't wait to do it.
I will be.
Crying on camera.
But Martin, think about this. If Raheem Sterling lives up to his potential, he would be the heir apparent if he keeps on and keeps on for year upon year upon year and gets better and better and better. It won't be a Sergio because of the iconic moment he is, the iconic person he is, but Sterling could be next. Yeah.
I think KDB will outshine him on that, though.
Yeah.
I think KDB will become our new David or Sergio.
In terms of goals, I mean, all Sterling needs, if Sterling scores the final goal in the Champions League, for example, all things being equal, touch wood, right? I mean, think about what that's going to do to him. If he
scored at Anfield, that's what he needs to do. A last-minute win at Anfield.
You're right. You can't replace Sergio Aguero. You can't. It's like Pele. I mean, how do you replace Pele in Brazil, right? Or Maradona in Argentina? You can't. Or Messi, Barcelona.
I think we've proved. This is why it's so hard for Pep and Cheeky and Soriano. We can all sit here and play FIFA and go, let's replace him and him and him and him and him. But I tell you what, you might have 150, 200 million to spend. It is not easy. And it's not going to be easy to replace this team and put it back together and everything else.
Yeah.
And good luck to Pat. Good luck to Chica. Good luck to Soriano. You've got a hell of a job on your hands. That's all I'm going to say. But if anyone could do it, it's them.
Yeah, just going back to those 5 players there, Zaba, Yaya, Vinny, David and Sergio. I think when you said, Sergio's the one that is going to be, the one that the hardest to replace, I actually think Vinny's the hardest to replace.
Oh, without doubt.
What I meant was, he's the last one out the door of Mancini.
Yeah.
The last one of that Mancini team out. Yeah. I'm thinking more emotionally rather than...
Yeah. It'll be hard because it'll be hard. 10 years he's given us or will have given us.
Yeah. because that is the end of the Mancini era. At the moment, we've got David and we've got Sergio to take us back to 2012.
Yeah. But this happens to big teams, isn't it? You know, Scholes left after how many years? Giggs, he leaves after, you know, that's what happens, you know, is trying to fill those voids. And sometimes, like in United's case, it's hard to find somebody to take a Scholes role because there's not many Paul Scholes around.
Right.
Well, all I'm going to say is I'm glad I'm not doing it, and I suppose you lot are glad you're not doing it either. But guys, we're going to end it there. That has been the end of part 3, our transfer discussion. That was more of a sit in the pub and have a chat with your mates sort of chat, that one, you know, which was really good. Sometimes it's good to do it a little bit different, but as you can tell, they're all smiling. They all seem to have a lot of fun. But what I want to say is, Alan, thank you very much, brother.
No problems. Have a good holiday. Have a good holiday.
Am I going on holiday? I didn't know that. Sorry, mate.
Enjoy Veronica's.
No, that isn't the name of my partner, mate. She's not called Veronica.
Yeah, the bars are though.
You know what you mean. Carl, thank you very much, brother.
Thank you very much, guys.
I hope you have a great weekend, buddy, and the weather's good for you over there. Chris, Mr. Baker, the Ginger King.
Martin, have a lovely holiday, mate. I can't wait for the break.
I just want to thank these 3 reprobates for taking up their Friday evening. Part 1, go back and check part 1 out. We talk about Bournemouth, talk about the Arsenal game coming up, the FA Cup semi-final. Part 2, we talk all about UEFA and City's relationship with the media and how it's a little bit rocky and can it get any better? Are City trying to mend fences? Go back and check them. And part 3 has been a sit down with your pals in the a pub chat, just knocking out random names in the transfer window, showing you all how hard it's going to be to make this team better again. Not that it's not good. By the end of the season, we could have 3, 4 trophies by the end of it. It's not a bad time to be a Blue, is it? But I want to thank you all. Guys, have a great weekend. Make sure your notifications are set to public and not private. Give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. It's for the fans, by the fans, guys. Remember that. And leave us your comments down below. Who would you sign in the positions we looked at? Which left back? Which centre backs? Are you happy with Ferran Torres? And can Sergio Aguero ever be replaced? You've seen how hard we can't do it. But have a great weekend. I'm going to go and have a little break. I'll see you all when I get back. I might do some fan cams and a few little vlogs.
To sunny Spain.
I'm from the beach. But I'll see you soon. I'll leave you in the capable of hands, as always, Amanda, Kiam, and the rest of this mob. I'll take care. See you later. And as always, love the Blues.